A Pensacola, Florida native, she attended Savannah College of Art and Design, where she got her Bachelor's of Art, retired mostly from photography. She is now the owner of Court of DeLuna event space. She's traveled the world, but never watched Star Wars. Entrepreneur, karaoke aficionado, fellow Pisces, the never boring, Bethany Lauren. Dun, dun, dun.
Hello.
Hello. I'm so glad you could make it. We were just talking about what are the odds of all of this happening right now, and who do we have to thank for that? Can we give a shout out to our man?
Garrett
Paul Edwards.
Oh my gosh.
That's how we met.
I've known him since I was 5.
Yeah. So just a little bit of history there. And you and I kind of like micro met a few times, but the time where we finally met, this is like the ultimate origin story, was Garrett's 30th birthday party.
Oh.
At Hopjack's, where you brought a blow-up doll as a gift for him because you didn't know he was with anybody. And the pastor was there.
In my defense, I was left unattended. And then Jeremy Wara found me.
Can we blame? I would like to blame things.
Because it wasn't just a blow-up doll. It was like a full-on.
It had accessories.
It had holes in it.
Oh, God.
Places. Yeah, and we showed up with that, and then Pastor Lebanon was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really awkward, and I shoved it under the table and hid it.
You shoved it under the table by me, and then Garrett was socializing, and then random men at the bar were like, hey, and I was like, don't hey me. This isn't mine. I don't want to talk about it. Bye-bye.
And we're still friends somehow.
Yes. With all of your random things and all the random things we have done together, you've made me a mermaid, a pirate, all kinds of fun stuff.
It's true.
Yeah. And you yourself are that way.
Oh, which is, don't forget Rockstar Barbie.
I almost forgot about her. I think I'm going to be her for Halloween.
Yes.
Barbie and the
I was
Rockers.
hoping she would make another debut.
She will because
I still want to take that photo of you at the graffiti wall.
Oh, right. Yeah, let's do it.
In your house.
Okay. I like it.
I think
See, we always have these creative projects, which is why I wanted you on the podcast, aside from we are in your house right now, the Court of DeLuna, and it's just awesome. Like we were talking about how awesome this particular room is. It's so perfect for this. But I wanted you on to talk about creative projects, turning them into cash, because you're like the master of that. That was something I noticed about you right away. You're like outside of the box of, I need to buy something. I will take this green paper and go to the store. And no, that is not how you think at all. You're like, what do I have that I can barter for at a cheaper price? And then you negotiate down. Like even
what can I
house.
get for free?
Yeah.
Or donated? I have lots of ways to do that.
You do?
Lots of ways to get free stuff.
So what's some of like the random things that you've done over the years?
Oh my gosh.
So many.
The first thing I always tell people, if you need extra cash, have a yard sale. You know your house is full of crap. You don't need any of that stuff. Like go through every drawer, every closet, look under all those beds, all those places where you're like, oh, look at all this junk. Just become unattached to possessions.
Yes.
Right?
Which you are highly unattached.
I am so unattached.
Every time you've moved, you've sold everything in your house.
Yeah.
And just moved.
Or people come over and they're like, oh my God, I really love that blankety blank. I'm like, oh, you like that? Take it. They're like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
I mean, there was a girl walking through the winery the other day and she saw this beautiful like wine holder. I mean, it was probably 3 feet tall. I don't even know what to call it. Yeah, a wine holder. And it was all elaborate metal work. She's like, this is so beautiful. I've always wanted one of these for my house. I'm like, please take it with you when you go. And she's like, what? Because she just couldn't imagine like someone just gifting. I'm like, no, just take it. I don't need that.
Yeah.
I got wine holders everywhere. I got more wine crap than I could ever use. So get rid of things. Have a yard sale because they suck real bad and you have to get up really early and deal with the hagglers. But you will have gotten rid of so much stuff.
Yep.
And on average, when I did yard sales professionally, because I would drive around.
What?
When I did yard sales professionally.
When was that?
Oh.
I don't know about this.
You didn't know about this? Oh.
It was just like casual. When I did yard sales professionally, hair flip, Like,
okay, so I would drive around East Hill, which in our area, is people are always putting things out.
Right.
And I would collect all the junk from all the neighbors because they were constantly putting things out by the street. And so I would save up their stuff for like 3-4 months. Then my house would be full of crap. Okay. Then on a Saturday morning, I would pull all the stuff back out and sell it all back to the neighbors. So I would do this for like 3 and 4 years. I did this. So I would on average make between 300 at least. And the most I ever made was 1,100. So I traveled to Ireland with that money.
Yeah.
I traveled for a month around the country with that money. I went to Costa Rica with that money.
Yeah.
Professional yard sailing.
That
so
and
easy.
it doesn't even require creativity. The thought itself is creative.
It's just time, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I drive through Eastville all the time. So it's like, oh, someone's getting rid of stuff, or someone just got evicted. Evictions are great because you never know what you're going to find in those piles.
Evictions are great.
So yeah, you start off with getting rid of things. You don't need all that crap in your house.
No.
Sell stuff, right?
Yeah. Look for evictions.
Right.
Follow people around
Yeah.
until they get kicked out of their homes, and then glamour all their stuff.
Another thing that I do before I get up and go to a store, if I really need something for an event, I'll just jump on Facebook and be like, hey, does anybody have blah, blah, blah?
Yeah.
I could borrow.
Yeah.
Half the time, the people want to get rid of it. So they'll just start dropping stuff off at my house, like lighting or whatever it is.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, great. I just got like $300 worth of black lights that no one wanted because I just put a post on Facebook. So, before you just go, oh my God, I want to go to Walmart, because what's going to happen when you go to Walmart or Target? What happens, Meredith, when you go to Target?
I'm angry.
And why?
I'm triggered.
And why? Because there's
Because
many
people
things.
And things.
There's
and,
so many things in there.
There's not enough Adderall. Nothing.
Right.
Yeah. It's just so ADD land,
And they do it on purpose to get us.
I'm tired
consumers
after,
to come in there, and then you're like, oh my God, I need this, I need that. No, you don't need any of that stuff. Like, you should have just gone on your phone on Amazon Prime and had that one item shipped to your house for less, probably. So those are just, I don't know, some ways to convert things into cash.
So it's so funny because you always have that, like, a bigger picture. Like, the person that has like the micro view of things, they're the ones that go to the store and like, okay, I'm just going to put a Band-Aid on this problem. And you always have a bigger picture. It's like mentally you're always interwoven with the world around you, which is kind of a deep way to say what we're saying, but it speaks to your mindset. It's something that I've always admired about you. And when you are doing events, that's how you think, which is why everyone needs to freaking hire you to be their event person when they are up in this place. Because like when you helped with our wedding, it was so much fun because you were so outside the box. You were like, remember we went through your mom's house?
Yeah.
I don't think she was home.
No.
And we were like, that's cute. It was like we were shopping.
Because she was a wedding coordinator, and my mom's house is full of crap. She has so much wedding stuff.
She does.
And it's all kind of boho-ish, farm-ish, kind of rustic.
Worked for our wedding.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so that was like a great day for me because you and Garrett had it handled, and I was off in La La Land being a bride. And
we did stuff like ferns instead of like flowers that you purchase that are just going to wilt and die.
Do you remember how you negotiated those ferns though?
How did I get the ferns? How did I get all those ferns?
Because you're a smooth talker. Because you told a magazine person that we would get, or no, you told the fern lady that we would get a magazine feature, which we did. And so she would get free advertisement in the magazine. And so it was
she bought all the ferns.
Yeah, she lent them to us.
We didn't pay for ferns.
We didn't buy.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. And you do other things too. Like you did the wedding photography forever. Like how many, 15 years?
18 years.
18 years.
Yeah.
Which is a lot.
Yes. I started when I was 16, and then I went to college for it, to become a professional. And then I came back, and I actually still every now and then maybe do one. I don't really have time to do them now, but so it's been a hot minute of wedding photography. So I don't know.
I agree. Yeah. And then the guitar gigs sticks out to me.
The guitar gig? My one guitar gig.
Was it just one?
It was just
because
the one.
in my mind, you have a musical career.
Oh, I do have a musical career. I can tell you all about that in about 30 seconds. Started when I was 16. I recorded some songs here locally. Went to Nashville, had some professional training. Yeah, I went to Nashville for a few weeks, got some professional training, sang at the Nashville Palace, came back, decided I wanted to go to college. And all that training that I did up in Nashville, but by far was superseded by the training that I got from the karaoke bars in Savannah, Georgia for the next 5 years of my life. I actually won quite a few karaoke contests, won some cash prizes.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. I remember the first time I saw you sing karaoke was at McGuire's.
They don't have karaoke at McGuire's.
No. Excellent point. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no karaoke at McGuire's unless Bethenny is there and she knows the performer. And she just goes up there and hugs the performer. And he's like, sing with me. And then she does. And then her friend Meredith doesn't even know she can sing. And I was pretty convinced that night that you were famous because it was so random. We were with Rocky.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Rocky Hard, the late owner of Rock Hard Designs.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, what a good night that was. That was after Elton John.
It was after Elton John, which was amazing. So you made money with that. This is the thing about you, like you're never afraid to take these creative wild hairs and turn them into like legit money-making opportunities.
Yeah. If someone offers you money, you just take it and then you figure it out later.
Yeah.
So that's just, sorry. Perhaps I should switch hands.
Perhaps. Or I can do it. It might be easier for me to switch hands. Yeah, it's all good.
So yeah, I've had a lot of people be like, hey, can I pay you? But I'm sure. Absolutely. Have you ever done that before? Nope. No.
How do you help somebody who isn't like that though? Because for example, if we were friends as children, as you and my husband were, you would have been like, oh my gosh, Meredith, you're cool, but you're too slow, because I had to think about everything. And really, like I was like little anxiety-filled child.
Okay.
And so
there'd be a lot of dragging involved. Like with my sister,
and I would ask you so many questions.
She was very like slow.
Really?
And, well, I don't know about that. And And there's like definitely a time where I shoved her into a wagon and pushed her down a hill because I was like, it's going to be so much fun. And we went down this huge giant hill in a wagon and we like totally crashed at the bottom. She still remembers that day though.
I bet she does.
Really,
I wonder why.
Really helped her.
It did?
Get outside the box of.
So she's like not in therapy or anything for that. Right.
She might be. Actually.
She might be.
No, there was a lot of pulling. Like my friends that were like that, like Carmen Whitfield and some other girls, like, I'm like, come on, come on, come on. Like I would just grab their arm and like, they're like, but, and I didn't really give them a lot of time to think. And then before they knew it, they were on some crazy ride or in the forest somewhere or, you know.
So really the advice for somebody who is more innately like me and less like you is to find a friend like you.
Yes. Exactly.
Because I mean, so many people are so afraid to start any sort of business. You know, they can create something really neat.
And they should be. They should be a little hesitant and they should have a really good plan.
Ooh, so don't wing it.
No.
Because the way you talk about it, it does make it seem to an outsider that you wing it and you're just like incredibly lucky.
Oh no. Oh no. This just no, that could be what people really misunderstand about me. Because I do seem like this like kind of gypsy soul, which I am, you know, and I do have the hippie, like I'll go and, you know, you never know. Like last night, what was I doing last night? I was running around in the old Sacred Heart Hospital building trying to find ghosts, like finding the old, like the staircases and like dragging my little boy up and down these haunted like halls that literally have had hundreds of ghost sightings throughout the years with one of my employees. Because I was like, it's spooky season and like Halloween's coming and I really want to like go and like look for ghosts. And I was waiting on my daughter to get back from her volleyball game at East Hill. And, you know, I was like, oh, what to do? Let's go hunt for ghosts. We didn't find any last night, but I got a tip from the waitress. So we're going to go back to the 5th floor.
Ooh, I thought all the ghosts would be at the bottom. For those that don't know, the Sacred Heart building, or the building that we're talking about, used to be the hospital in Pensacola back in the
Oh, Lord. Probably 100 years ago.
Yeah, it looks like a castle.
The
bottom floor especially is like it's where the restrooms are of the restaurant, but it is rumored to be the psych ward.
Or it was also the cafeteria. But the funny thing is that the cafeteria was right next to the crematorium where they would do the laundry and also, ironically, the body bags. So they could just shove things on the chute. Lots of crazy stories from there. But no, I mean, I come across as this wild and gypsy soul. But when it comes to business, everything I do is extremely methodical.
Is that natural for you, that process?
Mm-hmm.
So both being creative and...
Oh, I'm extremely OCD. Like my house is like, everything has a place and it's so clean. Like you like, when you wake up in the morning, you make your bed. That's your first task of the day. You make your bed. Then you start your day. My kids make their beds. You know, it's very, I live in a world where I'm like, I try to be very organized with my schedule and my time management.
So that could be something else that would help a creative person. Because I kind of feel like, I mean, tell me what you think, but people are either creative or they're pragmatic. They're not usually both. You're either that creative person with the messy desk, but you're a genius, you know?
I know.
Or you're like...
I'm ADD, complete, like insanely ADD and OCD at the same time. So I don't know what. March 13th, I was born on Friday the 13th. Maybe that's why. Who knows? But when it comes to business, you have to sit down and you have to think about a lot of things and you have to get a lot of counsel. So you just wake up one day and go, oh my God, these like vegan, like organic popsicles are so good that I make for my kids. I'm going to like go into business.
So who do you get counsel from generally? Is it specific to industry?
It's very specific. You want to know who you get counsel from?
Yeah.
Other successful business owners.
Amen.
You don't go to the people that their restaurant shut down or they went out of business in 6 months because they were like, I'm going to sell bracelets and get like a brick and mortar place downtown that's $3,000 a month in rent. You don't get advice from those people. No.
So unless you want to trade places with them, don't take advice from them.
Absolutely. You surround yourself with the people you want to be like. So who do I have lunch with? I have lunch with Jim Reeves. I have lunch with Jock Mobley. Marty Stanovich, you know, people who have been very successful, who drive cars that are worth as much as my house. That's who I hang out with.
Yeah.
And get advice from.
Right.
I make them my friends.
Yes.
Now. So
that's smart.
Everything I do with the company it's very organized. And
it's so, I remember when all of this was a thought. I remember, I can't, you know, we used to live across the street from each other. I can't remember if I was at your house or you were at my house, but I remember when you talked about the nonprofit for Court of DeLuna. And then just the other day, you made headway on that.
I did. I was so excited. Sometimes you just have to speak things. And just in the last few weeks, I've just been talking about it a lot. And that trickled to a friend who then talked to another friend. And then that person showed up with a check for $4,000.
That's amazing.
And I'm looking at this $4,000 and I'm like, holy potatoes, I got to go to the bank and set up an account to put this money into. Because I've had the nonprofit for 2 years.
And what's it called?
DeLuna World Education Center. And I've had it, you know, I acquired it, which isn't the easiest thing to do, to acquire a 501c3. And it just launched me forward. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is going to be the start of our first tuition scholarship for a student who doesn't have the means to go to college for an art degree.
That's so cool. It's so specific for art degree.
Well, there's twofold. It's twofold. We're going to do drives and we will put money into good art supplies for the local schools. For the art classes, because a lot of the nonprofits and things like that, they always focus on tutoring for athletes or tutoring for kids in math and science and things like that and reading, because they deem those as the most more important. So you don't get a lot of donations and, attention in the art community for kids. And I think that art class is just as important as history. I think they need that time to go and get messy and glue something to something else and make it stick, Yeah. So we want to get those teachers who already don't make a lot of money, let's be honest, and who all they have is maybe some construction paper and some crappy scissors. We want to get canvases and good brushes and good paints and things like that for kids to actually be able to, do real art. So we're going to do some drives for that. We've got our first field trip set up. We have a school coming that's going to do some open graffiti on our open graffiti wall next to our mural that's being painted right now.
Which is gorgeous.
Thank you. So it's happening. And it was just like, oh my gosh, I have this money and I got to do something with it now. So actually our Valentine's masquerade ball that's coming up 2020, Valentine's Day, is going to be Casino Royale. Yeah, we're going to have like gambling for charity and lots of theatrics. And a good chunk of that entire event is going to go into the nonprofit.
Oh, that's so cool. So people can even support the nonprofit by
drinking.
Come
to the bar and get a mixed drink.
Win-win.
And we're going to have proceeds of that. Yeah.
Okay.
Come out, do some roulette, blackjack, gamble for charity.
That's
it's going to be a fun night. Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I love an opportunity.
People need more things to do on Valentine's Day.
They do. Yeah, I agree. And this space is so cool for that because each little pocket is slightly different. So you can, it's really versatile, so what is this room called that we're in right now?
This is called the man cave.
Oh, did you just make that up just now?
No, it's actually outside on the door. It's the groom's room, the man cave, the billiard hall, the hangout room. People have slept on this pool table before.
Oh, just as long as that's all they were doing, we're good.
They just fell out. Yeah. So
okay.
It's a fun space.
It is a fun space. It's like that. I like being here because it is all the creativity and all the, I don't know if there's a better word for it, but the randomness of interests that you like, and it's sharing it, and I think when you do business in the creative space, you have an opportunity to share what you love with other people. But as you pointed out, it takes some intention to make that an actual sustainable plan and not just a whim that maybe people roll their eyes at. So I want to share some tips on how to turn creativity into cash in case there's some people out there that are like you but don't have the business side. So, but before I do that, is there anything about this industry or your business that you want to?
Anything extra? Anything else? You can do a lot of things and waste. I'm going to say waste a lot of money by trying to do advertising, as far as magazines. That's a waste of money. Billboards, that might be a little something, but it's a lot of money. Yeah. Making flyers, waste of money. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what's not a waste of money. Social media. That's it is at our fingertips all the time. Mm-hmm. You go into any restaurant, airport, doctor's office, people have a screen 5 inches from their face at all times.
Yeah.
And it is so inexpensive to get on Facebook and be like, I'm going to boost this little post for $300. Okay. You just
is that what it sounds like?
Actually, it makes like a little, I don't know. What's that noise?
We'll take your money.
Facebook makes a noise when you post. Anyway, so I digress. Or not, maybe. So basically what I'm saying is be different and, do something else. Maybe put on a crazy costume and hold your, whatever you're trying to sell or market. If you like jumping in a trampoline, holding the vegan crazy popsicles that I was talking about earlier, or something like that. And make it like a boomerang or a little video, you're going to get, 5,000 views on that stupid little video that cost no money at all to make. So that's where you really need to sink your time and energy into, because it's basically the same as word of mouth, because word of mouth and social media go hand in hand and they work together. And if you can get that down, you'll go far, especially in this town.
I think those are our first 2 tips then. I'm changing it because those are so great. Use social media to your benefit because you have something creative. I mean, step 1 in business is you got to open your mouth. You got to tell someone about it.
Yeah.
And then step 2 is think outside the box. Yeah. Why not dress up as something and, make people want to talk to you?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Completely. I saw a quote the other day. I can't remember where I was. And it said, if something's worth doing, then it's worth overdoing.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And every time I do an event, like it might be, okay, we're going to do A, B, and C. But then I'm going to plan ahead. I'm going to do the A, B, and C. And then I'm going to go find E, F, and G. And I'm going to pull some wild cards. And I'm going to work my tail off so that every event is the best one.
Yes.
So
you definitely really cool. Like the way you approach events particularly. I mean, you approach a lot of things in life this way, but events, you approach it in the way of, and I don't know if you're asking yourself this on purpose, but how will this be the most memorable blank of all time?
Right.
And you shoot for that. And sometimes, you're not able to find all the pieces to that puzzle that you need, but along the way, got an itch?
I did. I had an itch and then I ended up hooking my hook. Never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I think tip number 3 is if you're more on the pragmatic side and not on the creative side, and you're like me and the pragmatism drains your creativity, meaning like, for example, I never used to decorate my house because I was always like, okay, well, I got to spend, it took about 3 hours or something like that to clean it. Well, now I'm tired. I don't want to decorate it. So the practical part, like, I know. This is why I have Karen, my housekeeper now. And now I decorate my house and it's clean, win-win. So for someone that's leaning.
I was just about to say that when you aren't good at something or you don't want to do something, you find someone else to do it.
Yeah.
And you go have a yard sale so you can afford to pay someone else to do it.
Or barter.
Yes.
We love us some barter.
I finagle people into doing things all the time. Yeah. I currently have like 2 people working for me for like nothing because we've bartered something out.
Yeah.
And they work for me on a weekly basis.
It's outside the box, which is so cool. So for someone that struggles with that, I would say to that pragmatic person, make time for creativity. Like you make time to travel and it's just because you love travel. But how many inspiration moments have come from travel? So many.
Oh my gosh. And that feeds into my creativity. And on Sundays, I do art. I paint.
So you make time. It's like blocked out. About once a week, I will go beach combing. Yeah. And sometimes creative things come from that. But either way, it's very, fills my cup.
Yeah. It's very relaxing. And I do the same. I go beach combing probably once a week. And I make ornaments out of seashells and jewelry coming soon. I'm going to be making some shark teeth earrings here.
I can't wait
in a couple weeks. I'm very excited about those. So you have to make time and you basically prioritize and make meetings with yourself. That's what I started doing because I decided, you know what? I'm tired of going straight to the office every day. I want to work out again. I'm going to work out every day. And without fail, every morning, there's some crisis or someone shows up at the office that didn't tell me they were coming or, we're here to get blah, blah, blah. So what I started doing is texting them, saying, I'm so sorry, I'm in a meeting. I'm in a meeting with myself at the gym. I'll be there in 30 minutes or 15 or 45, wherever I am in the workout. They can sit and they can wait. Because if they didn't make an appointment, then lack of planning on their part doesn't constitute an emergency on mine.
Yeah, because then you become like an unhappy business owner.
Yeah.
And then your life isn't.
And nobody likes Bethenny unhappy. No one.
No one. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, this was so awesome. Where can people find you on social media?
Well, I am on Facebook, Bethany Lauren, and the Court of DeLuna is also on Facebook. If I know you, I will, and you find me on Instagram, it'll be Bethany Lauren 84. If I know you, then I will let you follow me. If I don't, well, you better have some really cool photos or a really great profile photo on your Instagram because I need to be intrigued.
Right.
So.
But for the business, you're on Instagram as well, right?
Yes.
And what's that?
Instagram. Court of DeLuna.
Court of DeLuna. Easy.
Mm-hmm.
And in real life, where can people find you? Tell them where Court of DeLuna is.
I had so many answers for that. Court of DeLuna, we are located at 116 East Gonzales Street in the downtown Pensacola area.
And all kinds of events, not just weddings, right?
Oh my gosh. We actually have just as many corporate functions and galas and fundraisers as we do weddings. So lots of crazy fun parties to come.
And now podcasts.
And podcast.
So bam.
I'm very excited about this.
Awesome. I'm so glad you agreed to do this and you entertain all my silliness.
I freaking love this. When you came to me with this idea, you're like, so I'm going to do this thing. And I'm like, yes, this is so good because, you know, you have your business, you run your business very well. You have your weekly updates, you have your customers of the month, and you rock it with Mary Kay. But I was wondering, I'm like, I wonder like what else she does other than surf and like pick up seashells that she puts in boxes and hoards in her house.
They are labeled, miss.
They are labeled, but what are you doing with them? That's the
I'm gonna
question.
make jewelry. I just need a Dremel.
Okay. All right. That's coming. I know that's coming. So.
Okay.
But when you told me about the podcast, I was like, yes, this is so creative. This is so great because you have so many great ideas and you love people and you love learning their stories and you're very articulate with your speech.
Oh, thank you.
And
this is not a paid advertisement, everyone.
And when I'm around you, I cuss a lot less.
Oh.
So I become more like classy. So it's good for me to be around you.
Excellent.
It's a true story. I haven't said one cuss word this whole time.
You haven't. You can. Do you want to like dump any out?
No, I feel so fresh and clean.
Okay.
So fresh and
well,
so
thank
clean.
you. This was awesome. High five, sis. That's a wrap.